Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're unlocking a surprisingly simple, practically invisible truth about feng shui and wealth. A lot of people think attracting abundance requires, buying expensive artifacts, constantly rearranging your heavy furniture, or hanging up really complex mirrors everywhere. But what if I told you the true golden secret is something you can do right now with your own two hands and without spending a single dime? Today, we're exploring exactly how feng shui brings wealth quickly and powerfully just by transforming the everyday space right around you.
Okay, let's dive into this. You might not actually believe it at first, but a massive 70 to 80% of feng shui's effectiveness boils down to just one simple action. It doesn't cost anything, it relies purely on removing clutter and pruning unnecessary items from your living space. We're going to learn exactly how taking out a simple bag of trash can literally open up a brand new door to sustenance and blessings in your life. It's really that powerful. So here is our game plan for clearing blockages and inviting abundance today. We will step by step cover the hidden wealth secret, the powerful spiral movement rule, the critical entrance and kitchen zones, the vital importance of order under your bed, the wardrobe and bathroom, and finally, the 15-minute rule and gratitude.
Section 1. The hidden wealth secret in feng shui.
To bring in new financial opportunities, we first have to understand why physical space actually matters so much. The cosmic law of abundance is wonderfully straightforward. To bring in new things, you absolutely must create empty space. In ancient feng shui philosophy, this vital energy is called qi. I want you to picture qi as a super clear, fast-flowing river running right through your home. Now imagine what happens when old, broken, or unused objects pile up in your corners, your closets, or stuffed underneath your furniture. Those piles, they act as giant dams. The river hits those dams, the energy becomes heavy and stagnant, and just like sitting water, it decays and creates this dullness in your everyday life. But when you sweep away that dust and clear out the broken items, you smooth and straighten the path for this energy to really breathe and circulate.
The psychology behind all this clutter is fascinating, right? As long as your home is stuffed to the brim with useless items, you're basically signaling to the universe, hey, I have no room to receive anything else. That is the scarcity mindset in a nutshell. Holding on to things you don't need simply out of fear that you might lack them later. But when you actively throw away physical waste, you subconsciously let go of that exact fear. You transition completely into an abundance mindset. Those empty, clean corners act like literal magnets, boldly drawing in new financial opportunities, job offers, and unexpected blessings.
Section 2. The powerful spiral movement rule.
So how do we actually execute this? If you really want to know how feng shui brings wealth quickly, the spiral movement rule is your absolute starting point. You start right at the front door, and you move systematically from room to room in a clockwise direction. You don't just bounce around randomly from the kitchen to the bedroom. You follow this exact spiral to actively push and guide the energy, unblocking your home layer by layer.
Section 3. Critical zones. The entrance and the kitchen. There is a direct, undeniable connection between your physical environment and your financial reality. Let's look at the entrance, the mouth of qi. By simply removing extra shoes, keeping only, say, 3 pairs by the door, and recycling old bills so your front door can open completely at a full 90-degree angle, wealth can easily enter without hitting physical obstacles. Then, look at your daily sustenance in the kitchen, the hearth of wealth. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole concept. When you toss food that's been sitting in the fridge for over 3 months, throw out bent cutlery, which actually symbolizes arguments, by the way, and scrub your stove until there's no trace of grease, the spiritual result is just immense. A clean stove equals passionate cooking, which directly equates to more money and a massive reduction of conflict in the home.
Section 4. The vital importance of order under the bed.
We really need to slow down for a second here, because this is a profound golden rule. Under the bed is only for you to sleep over, not a storage room. It's absolutely critical to stop draining your personal energy. If you absolutely need to store things in your bedroom because you just don't have cabinet space, the source material explicitly suggests placing a beautiful chest beside the bed instead of stuffing things underneath it.
So, the crucial point is this: what you keep beneath you while you sleep directly affects your waking life. Things like empty boxes, old clothes, old books, and especially empty wallets stored under the bed cause massive stagnation of your personal energy. Because you are resting right on top of that stagnant qi for 8 hours a night, it actively disrupts your financial decision-making. The emptier it is under your bed, the deeper your sleep will be, and the smarter and sharper your financial decisions will become. Honestly, sit cross-legged today, pull everything out from under there, and clear it completely.
Section 5. The wardrobe, the bathroom, and preventing drain.
Okay, let's pick up the pace a bit. For the wardrobe, we apply the strictly enforced 1-year rule. Take down all the clothes you haven't worn in the past year. Now divide them into 3 simple steps. Gift them to others, sell them, or just throw away anything torn or stained. A lot of us hold on to things for a rainy day. Well, we need to debunk that myth right now. When you give away extra clothes, you are purposefully creating empty space for newer, far more stylish clothing that matches the higher financial status you're currently attracting.
Moving right along to the bathroom. This room is literally the drain of the house. If you aren't careful, your wealth energy flows right out of it. We need to implement these rapid-fire directives immediately to seal off those leaks. Keep the toilet door closed and the lid down. Fix dripping faucets the absolute second you notice them, because dripping water equals dripping money. Throw away all those empty shampoo and perfume bottles taking up precious space. And finally, keep the floor dry and never leave wet towels hanging around.
Section 6. The 15-minute rule and gratitude.
Look, overhauling your entire house's energy doesn't have to be some huge, overwhelming chore. It's called the 15-minute game. The rule is incredibly simple. Set aside just 15 minutes a day to completely empty one small drawer. That is it. Today, it might be your desk drawer. Tomorrow, it could be a single kitchen cabinet. By breaking it down into these tiny 15-minute daily sprints, you'll find that after just 1 week, the entire energy of the house is transformed, and you won't even be exhausted in the process.
The psychological key to making all of this work is removing items with a genuine sense of gratitude. When you're throwing things away or donating them, say this out loud. Thank you for serving me. Now your place will be filled by something better. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how saying this simple mantra completely removes the psychological resistance we all naturally have to letting go of the past. It shifts the entire act of throwing something away into an act of gracefully making room for the future, maximizing the effectiveness of your feng shui.
We've covered a lot of ground today, from the spiral movement rule to clearing out that hidden stagnation right beneath your bed. But understanding these rules is really only the first step. The real magic? That happens when you take action. So look around you right now. Which corner of your home is blocking your wealth? Where feels heavy or stagnant? And most importantly, what one bag of trash or clutter will you throw away today to open the door to brand new blessings? The choice is entirely yours. Start small, clear the path, and just watch the wealth flow in.